Today I hit 1,000 days without drinking. I feel great, and in this video I'm going to share with you some of the important things I learned along the way, and hopefully, in your journey to sobriety, it'll help you out. I'm going to share the struggles, how I overcame them, the wins, the losses, all that good stuff. And I want to start with something super important, and that is the fact that more than likely you're gonna slip up and you're gonna have a drink. And this happened to me so many times, and I was super hard on myself when I did slip up. And I think it would have been better if I wasn't so hard on myself when I did slip up. And it's kind of a fine line you have to have with yourself, and set boundaries with yourself on how you're going to handle that moment when you do slip up. Quitting drinking, it's not easy, especially when alcohol has been part of your life for years. And so, quitting drinking it's gonna be a journey, and you're gonna have to take the highs with the lows. And slipping up and having a drink is just part of that. So I don't want to say accept it that you're going to slip, but it's going to happen, and that's okay. Start over. When I slipped up, like I said, I was super hard on myself, and the way I talked to myself was just not positive at all. Super negative. And I was super harsh on myself, and I wouldn't recommend anyone talk to themselves or anyone like that. If I talked to my wife the way I talk to myself, we wouldn't be together. If I talked to my friends the way I talk to myself, I wouldn't have any. And if I talked to a stranger like that, probably be a fist fight. So looking back, I would tell myself, and I tell you, just be kind to yourself. It's not going to happen overnight. I mean, some of you may be able to just go cold turkey, and honestly, props to you. For me, I thought I could, but there was levels to it, essentially. And I'd go for a few weeks, start feeling good about myself, and I'd go and hang out with my friends and, just get caught up in the moment. And I wasn't being aware of what was happening around me in terms of the triggers and stuff. And then I would start drinking again. So these things happen. And the best thing to do is, instead of beating yourself up over it, is acknowledge how far you've come, and then learn from your mistakes, right? So figure out how you got to have another drink. What was going on throughout your day that led you to that? What was going on in your mind? What thoughts were popping up? And make note of them, and observe them, not in judgment, just observe what happened, take notes, and that way next time when something similar pops up, you'll be ready. And hopefully you'll extend your streak even longer of going without alcohol. It took, every time I slipped up and had a drink, I'd be like, okay, I went 3 weeks, my next goal is to get to 4 weeks, and then so on. I even had a calendar where I would mark a red X for every day that I didn't drink. And what I noticed is, that doesn't seem like much, but in your mind, registering all those red X's in a row and seeing how many days you can go, it actually really helps. And I noticed month by month, I'd have more and more red X's. And eventually, I would have a full months marked with X, and then I just stopped doing it because it wasn't necessary, but give it a try. Second thing is, and could be a bit of a scary one, but when you stop drinking, that's when the real work begins. And what I mean by that is, once you let your body and your mind recover and get back to a baseline, you can start to do the inner work or inner healing that's needed. Odds are, if you're like me, that you were drowning out some feeling or emotion with alcohol, so you weren't even able to recognize that feeling was there. And once you once you kind of get back to, your sober state, those feelings are going to come to the forefront of your mind, and you're going to have to face them. And that's why I said it was kind of scary, because, we all have different things. We're all dealing with different depression, anxiety, or trauma that, we don't want to deal with because it was traumatic, and it's difficult, and it's scary, and it takes work. And it's easy to just drown that down with alcohol because there's no work. You go to the liquor store, buy a drink, start drinking it, and you feel good. It's the easy way out. So once you sober up, you can start to be aware of why you drank so much to begin with, what you were masking, and you can start to acknowledge the fact that you weren't able to handle it without alcohol. And you can dive deep into it and, really start to heal yourself. Number 3, and this one was scary at first, but it faded quickly. And that is, you don't have to drink to have fun. Like, it's not necessary. Now, for me, every time I was having fun, I was drinking. Like, it was just, they went hand in hand. So naturally, I'm just like, well, what am I going to do? Like, how am I going to enjoy these things that I used to always do, but I was drinking? Like, how's it going to be now? And honestly, it is a little awkward at first, I'll be honest, right? You don't have a drink in your hand, so you're kind of like awkward with your hands, I found myself drinking water, and I remember being at places and I'm like pounding water. I'm like, damn, why am I drinking so much water? And it was just like a natural reaction to having a drink in my hand, just boom, putting it down. And when it's not getting you drunk, obviously it's just water, you're like drinking more and more. Like, my body's thinking it's alcohol, so I'm just pounding it, and I'm not getting that same like buzz. Interesting. But I will say, as time goes on, the awkwardness will slip away, and you'll begin to realize that you don't need the alcohol to have fun, and that is such a confidence boost. You actually end up having more fun, and you don't have to deal with the ridiculous hangovers the next day or few days, regretting how much you drank the night before, regretting the things you did, regretting the things you said. You actually can have more fun because you can hang out with your friends maybe the night before, go to that concert, go to that show, whatever it is, go to the game, and really soak it all in, be in the present moment, remember the concert, remember what actually happened. And then the next day or two isn't wasted being hungover. Like, you actually, like, I started racing motocross and riding motocross on the weekends, or waking up early, just getting stuff done around the house, just being productive. Maybe I'll go to the gym in the morning, or go take a yoga class or something, and being able to do both, it's just so much more fulfilling, right? If I wanted to go work out, or if I wanted to go ride the next day, like, I wouldn't even go out. I wouldn't even do anything, because I knew, if I went out, I was going to get super wasted and feel like shit the next day. But now I can still go like mingle with friends, do my thing, come home early, and enjoy the next few days. And it's just a win-win. And last, this is just kind of a general one, super obvious, but life truly gets better every single day. When you quit drinking and you're sober for, a few weeks, a few months, whatever the case may be, your body has been able to rest properly, and you just have this natural energy, and you feel great. Imagine, and I'm sure we've all had like just incredible nights of sleep. We wake up super rested, just ready to dominate the day. And imagine doing that for like weeks on end, months on end. Like, you're gonna feel like you have superpowers. The things that used to irritate me before, the little things, aren't even a thought anymore. I wake up rested, energized. I'm not like consuming a bunch of energy drinks or caffeine to like get me through the day, and then, you know, getting home from work, long day, whatever, and you're super tired, but since you drink so much caffeine through the day, you can't even sleep that well. You know, you get better results from the gym because your body is just, it's just like fueled. It's great. So yeah, you know, 1,000 days sober feels great. My background changed a little bit, as you can probably tell. I'm in Costa Rica with my parents. We actually got here on my 1,000th day, which we didn't plan that, but I kind of thought about it. That's kind of cool, you know? Doesn't really mean anything, but kind of cool to think about that just happened to work out that way. So I'm excited to be here, and I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.